Soggy Science here. Ha Episode 30. Over half a year. Ha Oh, so good to see you guys. What a crazy week. So much going on. Well, big, huge congrats to Mermaid Linden. She hit her Kickstarter goal and beyond. So, season 2 of Mermaid Minute will be with us in no time. I am so stoked. I can't wait to see a whole bunch of new episodes. You go, girl! Whoop! Oh, Shark Week's coming, and Discovery is using a big old lot of controversy to get attention for the week. Turns out, Discovery Canada is part of kind of a promotional effort for Shark Week. Faked that there was a shark in Lake Ontario. That's Lake Ontario, as in the Great Lakes in Canada. Well, this didn't go over so well. And the premiere, Kathleen Wayne, was pissed. Not happy about it. Created a lot of confusion. Kind of like Megalodon. Kind of like, I don't know, 2 mermaid shows? 2? And no, Megalodon's not real. Went extinct a while ago. Millions of years ago. Millions! And it continues. They had a chat, a Twitter exchange, and a bunch of scientists got on there to ask some questions, and they kind of ignored it and said, eat ice cream. So, major hand-prepared ice cream company was sponsoring the effort. So really it wasn't about Q&A, it was about promoting Shark Week. A lot of controversy around Shark Week this year, and the lack of actual science and more sensationalism. Hopefully there'll be some decent science in there. Hopefully they'll revise and come back to kind of the beginning where it was dispelling myths rather than building them. We shall see. Cool news from Milton Love! Milton Love Lab! Milton is a good friend of Soggy Science, and turns out we're having a giant sea bass count week, August 1st through the 7th. So if you're in California and you're diving the week of August 1st through the 7th, again, that's August 1st through the 7th, you'll have reportings. So if you sight a giant sea bass, also known as giant black sea bass or black sea bass, which were critically endangered, have been making quite a grand comeback, which we've talked about a few times, we just don't really know what the numbers are. So Dr. Love wants to know. There are other citizen science efforts going along these lines too, but especially the week of 1st through the 7th of August, only 2 weeks away, report in any sightings you find. Thank you, Dr. Love. Some sad news out of the Bahamas. Jim Abernathy had a client disappear. John Petty, 63, he's a chiropractic doctor out of Texas, Longview, Texas, disappeared on a night dive. So they don't know for sure what happened, but they're suspecting that he may have been bit or had an issue or something. They found some of his gear. They notified the Coast Guard and have not been able to find him, and they've presumed that he's probably no longer with us off Tiger Beach in the Bahamas. Generally a very safe activity, so this would be an unusual occurrence. Condolences to the family and friends. Hopefully it ends up being good news. On good news, good friend of Soggy Science, Madison Stewart, has a cool new video out called My World. And she's back in the States this week to do a bunch of more morning show PR on the Shark Girl documentary. So good on you, girl. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. Can't wait to see more. Love the video. Loved it. Well, it's official. California drought is severe now, and they've instituted mandatory fines for wasting water, upwards of $500 for repeat offenders. So no more washing our cars and watering sidewalks, which is probably a good thing not to do most of the time anyway. Use a bucket and rinse short. Use a broom for your sidewalk. But time to let the grass go brown and paint it. Just kidding. But that's what happened the last time. Anyway, cool news in the green sea turtle front in the Indian Ocean. They've been following them from space, and some of the migrations are massive. To the African coast, to the Maldives, to all over the place. So, Graham Hayes out of the UK of Deakin University reported on this, and they saw a migration of 3,974 kilometers. That's like 3,000 miles. That's awesome. So, green sea turtles get around. They tagged them when they came on the beach to lay eggs, and have been following them for a while now. So, cool news. Can't wait to hear more. That's, wow. Crazy, crazy stuff. Well, good friend Bob Ballard of Soggy Science found a Nazi sub. Well, he finds lots of things, right? This Nazi sub happened to be in the Gulf of Mexico. In our lovely government during World War II, it was sunk during World War II, called the U-166, didn't want anybody to know. So there were apparently 22 German submarines in the Gulf of Mexico, and they sunk quite a few ships while they were there. If you want to check it out, they're doing a lot of neat stuff on Nautilus Live. So you can watch what they're doing live off the research vessel. And apparently, this U-boat is very close to the SS Robert E. Lee, which was sunk probably by the submarine right before, or sank the submarine and sunk right after. Probably very connected kind of stuff. So that's really interesting news. Tons of stuff in archaeology coming out of weird things in the Gulf of Mexico off of Texas. Who knew? Who knew? Anyway, sweet news on the puffin front. We've been reporting grim news about puffins. Very cool seabird. Out of Scotland. Apparently, they had a good breeding season finally, after several years of not having a good breeding season. So, the Scottish Seabird Centre has reported from Tom Brock that they had a successful breeding season and they're much improved this season. So, good news on the puffin front for all those who love puffins. And they're really cool birds. Amazing birds. So, if you get a chance, you can go visit. They'll leave soon, very soon. So, if you're in the neighborhood, go check them out because they're about to fly away. Awesome stuff. But apparently, climate change has changed some of the diet, but there's been an improvement in that this year. More abundance in fish, so they're doing better. Sweet. Very, very interesting development out of the university in Spain. Andres Cesar Cabanas has produced maps of all the subtropic garbage patch gyres. Most of us have heard of the North Pacific garbage patch, but it's all about plastic garbage. Apparently the one in the Indian Ocean is way, way gnarlier. Tons more plastic, but there are 5 of them. 5 of them! And he produced amazing maps. So understanding the problem is our first step into help solving the problem. As we've talked about with 5 Gyres Institute effort, plastic pollution is everywhere. And a month ago we reported that they've seen it all the way up in the Arctic and the Antarctic. But they cruised for a year, and it's the University of Cadiz out of Spain. And they went around and surveyed all over the place with really fine, small nets, because a lot of this plastic breaks down to really small bits. And unfortunately, things eat it. And we just reported that like 80% of the plastic garbage is missing. They think maybe the mesopelagic fish that migrate up and down with the sunlight, so they come up at night, maybe eating it. And that's the problem. They found lots of fish with small pieces of plastic in its stomach, which isn't very good for us. So hopefully better understanding will lead to better solutions, and we can solve this problem soon. Because it is not a good problem to have. As we've learned from Flight 370 and other investigations, it can be daunting to have so much garbage in the water. And who wants that anyway? Who wants that? Nobody. Anyway, thank you for your comments and suggestions. Please subscribe, and more importantly, share the video! Share the video! Tell your friends. Let's get the viewership up. I'm not going to stop, but it'd be nice to have more eyeballs on the screen. Anyway, get out into the water, subscribe, go find some adventure, and get soggy.